Hi, Biffs.
Hey, Beth.
Dear Abby.
Dear Kiki.
Captain.
Red flag.
Cheers to you.
Desperate housewife.
Pinot Grigio.
Doesn't want to marry you.
Power.
Love you like I love you.
Wine.
Don't talk to yourself.
Cheers, Biff. Cheers. Ill-advised. This is ill-advised. Hey, Biffs.
Hello.
Hello and welcome.
Welcome to Ill-advised.
Podcast where two best friends tell you what to do when someone else already has.
Like your grandmother.
And not her bartender.
I think I'd rather listen to Grammy's bartender than Grammy.
Well, the bartenders just listen. That's why they're therapists.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, that's why they won't tell you what to do.
That's fair.
Well, they might suggest you get another beverage,
I was going to say,
but that's only if they're good at their job.
very accurate. I'm totally in agreement with everything you're saying right now.
Sure.
That's the right word.
Agreement.
I'm with
Agreement
you.
is a word. Agreement works too. But you're with me works better.
I'm with you.
Thank you
I'm
for
always with you.
just by my side.
Here. We're here.
Right now.
40-year plan.
When we don't know what we said and we ask the other one to clarify what we said and we can't because we don't know what we said to the other anyway.
Yeah.
That's where we is.
Or when we don't know what we said and we ask the other one what we said and they tell us what we said and they're right.
And it sounds not familiar at all.
Right, but they're right.
But they're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just did that.
Anyways, how you doing?
Oh, we're going with me first? Let's see. I'm good, I think. I'm having a hard time getting back into the swing of this work routine thing.
Oh, I forgot you started work.
Yeah, me too. So I can't stay up until midnight anymore.
Right.
So I can go to the gym in the morning before work because that's how I do. I do better in routine. But I think I'm good there. Other than that, I don't know.
How is work? How is the new job?
It's just been a lot of onboarding for the last 2 weeks. So I don't know yet.
Ah, fair.
It's just the beginning of any job where you're just inundated with information that you didn't sign up for because that's just how it is.
Yep. Yep.
How you doing?
I'm actually really great.
Yeah.
I'm really, I don't know what word to use, but like I'm loving where I am right now. Everything feels in order. Everything feels easy. I'm just really good right now.
Things are aligned.
Yeah, I think so.
Did you do your psychiatry appointment yet?
No, that's next month.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought that was okay. Good.
I know at this rate, I don't even need it.
No, please go.
I'm keeping the appointment.
Just go.
Keeping the appointment.
Just fucking go.
But right now, I'm very happy, almost like relieved where I am.
Okay.
Like-
oh, that's good.
Like,
That's awesome.
Nothing feels like, oh my God, have to do this, or I'm supposed to be doing this, or I'm forgetting. And it just is. I just get to wake up and just be and do, and like, it's just a really good place right now. And I'm loving it. And I'm super like grateful to be here right now.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
really good. The grateful part is really important because people would just take that for granted.
Yeah.
That's good. Mm-hmm. Wow. I have something that you'd be proud of me for too.
Yay.
You know what I did yesterday?
Oh, yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Absolutely nothing. I didn't even take a shower.
Here's the important question.
Uh-huh. No, I didn't. I sat on that couch playing video games all day long and I said, lazy one today.
And you did not feel guilty.
Nope.
Can
No
we
guilt.
cheers to this?
Yeah, we sure can. After I read the wine label. Are we both frozen in time right now?
Yeah, because I want to tell you a story.
Oh, tell me the story first and then we'll cheers to
A
it.
really quick sidebar.
Okay.
Not to take away from my pride in you.
Thank you for priding in me. Also, because this just seems like a jumbled mess of news anyway.
It is. Go.
I was just talking about how this whole fucking how we doing segment is doing so
We're
not
doing
how
great.
we doing.
You're doing great. I just need to tell a quick sidebar of my child,
Sidebar me.
my 4-year-old. So she stayed with her dad last night, and I got a text from him last night. And this is what his text said to me.
Wait, stayed with her dad?
My daughter stayed with her dad last
Okay,
night.
I heard my daughter stayed with my dad.
No, hers.
Hers. That makes a lot more sense.
We have rotating weekends.
Yes.
It was his weekend. So I got this text from him that says that his mom had brought up her Nana. And so Mia said, oh, you have a Nana? And she said, yeah. And Mia asked where she was. And so his mom said that, you know, she had passed away. And Mia said, how come? And his mom said, because, you know, she was older and she got sick. So God took her so she would feel better. And my 4-year-old's response to that was, so did someone shoot her? Did someone shoot her? Like, what? What?
But why?
I don't know.
Someone needs to monitor your viewing habits.
I was going to say, I think I watch too much Dateline when I think that my daughter's watching
or
something
anything that you watch. Or
Anything
probably
that
the only
I
thing
watch,
that doesn't
that's
have
true.
that shit in it is Housewives, and that's debatable.
That is debatable.
Yeah.
But I just found that. So did someone shoot
Did
her?
someone shoot her? Where did
Like,
that even...
I don't know. If you die, it's automatically because you were shot.
Imagine if that's what she thinks.
I don't want to know.
Talk about being afraid of
I'm
dying.
going to leave that. I'm going to leave that alone.
Maybe get her a psychiatrist too.
I probably should.
Start now.
Start now.
Start now. Why
Can't
don't you?
hurt.
Let's just avoid the future issues, if you know what I'm saying.
Like us.
Oh,
AKA,
yes.
let's avoid.
The future issues.
Gotcha.
The last thing that your daughter needs is a gay best friend with psychological issues too.
I think that's the only thing she needs. It's the only thing I've needed. Tell me I'm wrong.
And are you cured?
I'm as good as I've ever been right now.
Okay.
So I wouldn't go that far. I'm not cured.
Well, let's...
But I'm fucking great right now.
Good. Let's add some foreign influences to it, shall we?
I love it.
Alcohol?
That's
Or wine.
my favorite one.
Let's just go to wine. This week, we're drinking a Dogajolo Toscano from Italy. Dry red table wine of Tuscany. But it's a 2019.
Super cute bottle.
Super cute bottle. That's why I bought it. It's very fall, right?
It is.
Screams fall
is,
me.
yep.
And it got 90 points in August of 21 from Decanter. I think that's I know what a decanter is, but it looks like the name of an establishment or like a wine rating series of, who cares, right?
Yeah.
Yep. The name of the winery, I guess, is Carpineto or Carpineto.
Yes.
I don't know. It doesn't say DOC on it, so how authentic could it really be?
Department of Correction.
It's no.
Was this
That's good though.
foot stomped by
People
by
in
Italian
Tuscany.
inmates?
That's right. Yes. Foot stomped by Italian inmates. I'm just gonna shut up. Made from 80%. I can't pronounce this word. Sangiovese. That's Sangiovese.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You nailed it.
So made of 80% of those grapes, blended with a dash of 20% Cabernet Sauvignon, grown on dry farmed hillside vineyards in central Tuscany. Fruity and intense flavors with hints of berries, coffee, vanilla, and spice are matched with a supple tannin structure and long finish. This young, quote, super Tuscan wine shows at its best with full flavored dishes such as roasts, grilled meats, cold cuts, and tomato-based Italian specialties such as pizza and pasta.
So this is the wine.
Carpineto, drink responsibly.
Let's do it.
Yeah. That good, huh? As I lick the drop off the side of my mouth.
That good, huh?
Yeah. Number 2?
Better.
Yeah, only one eye did that.
Briefly.
Briefly. It was a wink.
3.
Yes.
Didn't do it this time.
No, you didn't. Did you hold it?
No.
No? I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
I really like it. I'm not going to say love.
Okay.
Really like it.
What is keeping you from love other than your own internal battles?
It's not like warm, like sit down by fire with your blanket on and sip this while you have cheese and crackers.
Is this more of like a, hey, I'm having fun times with my friends outside in spring?
Not spring, but this is like a antipasto salad. You know?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
versus
See-
like warm and comforting and
Oh,
like just inviting and cozy and cuddly. This is like, oh yeah, this wine's wicked good and I'm eating an antipasto salad, so it'll be perfect.
see, for me, this is a cheese and meat board type of situation. Sitting there enjoying like serrano hams or pepperoni or...
Yeah, like what we're doing
Yes.
versus going to sit on the couch in front of the fireplace.
Yeah, see, the fireplace thing, it would be a full-on cab for me.
What is this?
This is a 20% cab and 80% those grapes.
DOC grapes.
No, yes. DOC grapes. But yeah, I get the fruity, but this is also kind of like a type of wine that you would get at an Italian restaurant. Like if you asked for the house white, hence the table wine.
Yeah, I really like it.
I do too. What would you give it?
4.
Yeah, I'm with you. So 4 it is.
Perfect.
Across the board. We haven't recorded at my place in a while, I feel like.
No,
and it's usually
I
that...
missed some of my visitations.
You're going to lose custody. What was our background's usually like this. Well, we're usually behind a table when we're here, but my boyfriend's away. And if you can see our dog right here licking himself in front of you, they're being quiet. So we figured we'd do somewhere a little bit more comfortable.
Yes.
Bounce around.
Bouncing.
Bounce to answer this week's questions, which I believe you're reading this week.
I do have some questions.
I want you to ask them.
I will. We haven't done this website yet.
Oh?
However, we have done the advised columnist.
Yes, the advised one.
Yes. Amy Dickinson.
Oh, Ask Amy.
Ask Amy.
A Dickie.
And this is boomermagazine.com.
Great. There's no political innuendo there at all.
Let's hope not. This is from March 4th, 2022. This is titled Romance Scam or the Real Thing.
Ooh, this sounds like internet.
Advice columnist Amy Dickinson responds to a 69-year-old who is in an online relationship with a woman from the Philippines who needs financial assistance. Dear Amy, I met a young woman online about 8 months ago and have messaged her regularly. Fucking hell.
You know what? Hold on. Let's pause for a second because I have recently edited an episode where you said your LY without a problem. I think it's when you think about it.
What was the word?
I don't fucking remember.
I feel like there's specific.
Because right thereafter,
Yes.
I Englished just like you do and couldn't say my LY word,
Regularly.
which was really funny.
I think there's specific ones that get me.
Maybe regularly might make sense.
Yeah.
Because of that R.
Regularly.
Or the U.
Regularly.
Regularly.
We also have video calls because she lives in the Philippines. Long story short, she has a lot of issues with employment due to COVID. She has no family. Her area was devastated by a typhoon. She has few friends and health issues. She received a job offer in Canada, and the company was going to pay for her airfare and put her up in company housing. She was supposed to start next month. I helped her to buy clothing and prepare for the move, but now she has been diagnosed with medical problems and has to take a 6-month treatment regime for uterine cysts. I have helped her through many financial issues. I feel more of a father figure than a boyfriend and just feel a lot of pain for her. I am wondering how long I should help her financially. Should I cut the cord and tell her I cannot do this anymore? Although I could afford to help her, it is financially and emotionally draining. To top it off, I am 69 years old and she is 26.
Oh.
Signed, Concerned.
Oh.
I watched the show.
Yes, you did.
Weekly. Cues are being played. Go ahead, Beth.
I don't have anything else to add to that.
You agree? I thought for sure you were going to get into the...
Age is nothing but a number type of shit.
Not even the age thing, but like these could be legitimate. COVID, third world country.
Mm-hmm. I just don't remember recently a place being hit by a typhoon.
Yeah, true. This was only last year.
Yeah. Well, even, is it a 2022 or
2022.
Yep. Yeah, no, I mean, maybe in the last 20, 30 years,
The Philippines.
has there been?
Google it. This is the stuff that people don't think to do.
Right.
But Neve Schulman, this is the first stuff he'll do.
Typhoon Philippines?
2022.
I wrote Philippones.
I love Phil Capone.
Oh, well, about a month ago.
Oh, no shit.
Oh, there's a whole typhoon season. But I'm going to say it's like a hurricane season, because isn't that what a typhoon is?
Oh, sure.
Can we just, all right, so let's start with Googling typhoon.
I don't think we get typhoons in Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's a tropical storm in the Indian or Western Pacific. So a hurricane to us.
Okay.
Right? So they were devastated by a typhoon. Okay, so maybe they had a hurricane.
Devastated by a typhoon. COVID-19.
You got typhoon and COVID.
And she has health issues. Uterine cysts.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally thought you were going to not necessarily say no, she's not using you, but I thought you were going to kind of play devil's advocate a little bit more.
It's hard for me too when
you watch the show.
It's such, yeah, well, when you watch the show and tell me about it. No, but it just feels like such a setup, right? I would be skeptical from the get-go. In fact, if I was this skeptical but still had feelings for this person and developed them, I'd be like, hey, and of course I'd be lying. Can you send me a receipt for when you pay for it? It's tax deductible. So I can fucking get proof that you're actually getting treated for or whatever. I don't know what they say and you know what I mean? Like what the bills say in the Philippines. Like the US, your bills can't tell you what you're being treated for.
You can see that you're being medically treated. Yeah.
So there you go. That's all I've got in terms of this. I feel like you're getting played. You haven't met. Does it say where the writer lives?
No, I was looking at that and it doesn't. He
so I'm
said
assume US,
that she received a job offer in Canada. So I don't know if maybe he's close to Canada or if that has nothing to do with anything other than she's leaving the Philippines.
So my question then is, or becomes, you have money to afford her medical bills for her. This isn't the first time you've done it. Why haven't you gone to see her? Typhoons,
COVID.
Great.
These are probably her excuses.
I haven't flown through a hurricane before, but people fly after them. Like,
yeah,
it's very like, this story leaves way too much to be desired. Questions that I would have asked if it were me, maybe in the first week before falling in love over, digital signals, which is why I'm like, no. There's too much here unanswered.
I feel more of a father figure than a boyfriend.
And that's the other one. You don't feel loved that way romantically.
She feels like your kid. Dad, can I have? Dad, I need.
Plus, it's an internet romance. That's the hallmark of scam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
That's like every week when I get a text message from Anna and it's a picture of an Asian woman sitting on a wall, the same Asian woman every single time. And I'm like, Anna, I don't know who you are.
What do you want from me?
That's if I went like, oh yeah, I remember you. Here's my bank account.
Right.
You know what I mean? Anna stopped writing to me when she asked me what I was doing and I told her I was bleaching my asshole. Never got an answer back from Anna again.
Yeah. Also, to top it off, I'm 69 and she's 26 years old.
Yeah. That, if it was just them dating and him feeling a certain way about it, yes, you'll get me playing devil's advocate. But that paired up, or
in addition to
all of these other things, like there's just, if you have more questions than answers, literally that is your answer.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like we say that in almost every single recording.
Yeah. That, and it is what it is. Literally.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
Accept it or don't.
You're her dad.
Accept it or don't.
Or mom.
Dear Concerned, I am genuinely sorry to be the bearer of this news, but every detail you have supplied about this person points to the likelihood that you are the victim of a romance scam. The missed opportunity for employment, the devastating typhoon, the near miss move to North America. All of these dramatic episodes are designed to bait the hook and then keep you on the hook supplying more funds with each new drama that disrupts the relationship.
Yeah, Daddy, you swallowed that.
Even the nature of her sudden onset medical problems is a classic quote-unquote tell. The global pandemic has devastated the well-laid and legitimate plans of many, but it has also created opportunities for scammers to take advantage of big-hearted people.
Like we said, it is what it is. And if you have more questions than you do answers, there's your answer.
Also, go to the mall in the morning and find your match. No.
Literally, the mall is an excellent place to meet anyone that doesn't go shopping before 10 a.m. when they open.
Right.
That's a thing. Is that
They
universal?
walk the malls.
Yeah.
At like 8 a.m.
That's a universal thing?
I don't know. I just found this out within like the last decade.
Okay. So my mom used to work at malls. And when we would go to work with her, we'd get there early a lot of the times, like, 7, 8 o'clock. And none of the stores were open, but it was literally like
Just
senior aerobics.
Walking.
Just walking. Some of them with ankle weights. Some of them holding those little pink dumbbells.
Yep.
Yeah. Men, women, didn't matter who it was, but they were all seniors.
Yep.
So I really thought that was just hey, this must be Braintree, Massachusetts.
No, it's also Leominster, Massachusetts.
Oh, so as long as it's in Massachusetts, then
maybe that's the nursing home field trips.
Stop.
Make sure you're up by 7 a.m. so you can come walk the malls.
Oh my God, nursing hours.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so weird. Nursing hours? No, not nursing hours. Nursing home hours.
Same difference. Nursing hours.
I don't know.
Okay, let's try next.
Yeah, please.
I'm
Before I put my foot in my mouth
excited for the
again.
conversation of this one.
What is it?
This one is called Husband Snoops on Wife's Electronics. And this is May also 2022.
Okay.
Her husband snoops on her when she's on her computer or smartphone, despite her requests for him to not. Quote unquote invaded reader asks advice.
Oh, so wait, she's on the device while he's snooping?
That's what it sounds like.
Oh.
Yes, while she's on her computer or smartphone. Dear Amy, I am asking you to weigh in. My husband thinks that it's fair game to read my computer or phone screen over my shoulder, even when I'm clearly writing or viewing something private. I've asked him many times over the years not to do this, but he refuses to stop reading my screens. He definitely doesn't like it when I do it to him. He is saying it's okay because my activity is essentially out in the open. Is it rude to read someone's screen over their shoulder? Should I leave the room if I want privacy on my own device? Signed, Invaded.
Yes and yes. Well, I'm done.
He's wrong?
Yes.
You've never over the shoulder snooped?
I can't actually recall.
You probably haven't. You're one of those like weird normal people that like when your boyfriend's on their phone, you're not like, who is that? What are you doing?
Oh yeah, no, that's not me.
I know.
No, that's my boyfriend though.
And me.
And I couldn't feel more trusted by him at the same time.
Right.
Which is so weird.
Okay. See? I knew I loved Colin. because even if I do trust you, I'm just a nosy bitch.
I think I do sometimes ask,
I've always
like,
been so nosy.
who are you talking to? But like never like off the cuff or
never
whatever.
like you're asking because you think that it's not
No.
right.
No, because he's always on his phone anyway. So I think,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I think I've asked, but I don't think I've thought about why I asked. Does that make sense? Like there was no reason for my question.
Right. You're just genuinely like,
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Rather than like, that's,
I like, who is that? Who are you talking to?
Yeah,
What
no.
are you doing?
no, sometimes I'll get a message while we're having a conversation or while we're cooking dinner, or maybe just like when we're sitting together. So anytime. And he'll be like, who the fuck is that? But like, he won't say it in a way where he's like, or maybe he's just like sugarcoating it. So maybe I should be
do
careful.
that all the time.
But
all the
like,
time, like, oh, who the fuck you texting?
But that's the only time that he shows that, he
Have
could
you caught
potentially
him
show.
doing a little over the shoulder peep at you?
No, I don't think so.
Or seen him reflecting off your screen while you're reading? Like, girl, I can see you.
No. No, I've woken up in the middle of the night, and sometimes when he can't sleep, he'll be on his phone. And I've woken up and I've opened my eye and I see the light shining on his face. And then I look over to see why the light's shining in his face.
Like, what the fuck are you doing in the middle of the night while I'm asleep?
He's on his phone. So then I'm like, and I close my eyes and I wake up the next morning and forget about it.
See, you're weird. You need therapy.
Why am I weird?
You're not. I'm the one who needs therapy.
Oh, good.
I'm the weird one.
I mean, I need therapy. You're right about
I'm
half
deflecting.
of it. I'm also weird in other ways, but I digress.
I guess we all have our stuff.
So anytime that she's writing a message,
he says it's fair game because you're like out in the open on your phone. Like you didn't step out into another room and close the door. And
sure, go do that on the subway with somebody else.
I do.
You don't go on the subway. When was the last time you went on a train?
Very, very long time. I actually don't even remember.
Probably with me, to be honest.
Honestly, probably.
And not even when I lived in Boston before that.
Before that, yeah. Anyway, so
What?
I'm torn.
Why?
Because I don't think it's fair game. But I'm going to look over your shoulder. You know what I mean?
But that's the difference between you and the husband?
Husband.
That's the difference between the two of you. Is you're going to be like, it's not fair game, but you're right here and I'm nosy.
And I'm nosy.
That's
whether I trust you or not is not relevant.
Right.
I'm just fucking nosy.
I just want to know.
Ask my neighbors because I can tell you their life stories.
Yeah. I know. You only bought a stethoscope to hold up to the wall.
Yeah, I was practicing with my 4-year-old. This is how you do it, babe. This is really what this is made for.
You want to know what Mama and Dad are talking about?
This isn't what they show you in the movies.
Heartbeat is a facade. You can't hear that shit. But yeah, like I don't think that. Here's the deal. I concern myself with things that are relevant to me in that moment. So I would love to see like how he would justify looking over her, like reading a work email or paying a bill or, you know what I mean?
He says it's okay because her activity is essentially out in the open.
So does he mean like the actual act of being on the computer or because it's the internet and everything's on the internet?
My immediate thought was that she's just sitting right here on her phone or computer. You know what I mean?
Okay. To me, that reads like it's the internet. I'm going to find out, or the whole world's going to find out too. Or rather, that's another.
I went from like you're sitting in the middle of the kitchen on your phone. Like it's not. If I walk by you and can see your phone, that's not my fault. If I stop and read, it's not my fault.
Since the dawn of time, men have been going into the bathroom to look at what they want to look at forever. I suggest you fucking take up the same thing.
Well, that was the second question.
Should I go into another room?
Should I leave the room if I want privacy on my own devices?
The first question was,
is it rude to read someone's screen over their shoulder?
Yes, and yes.
And the second question was, should I leave the room?
To me, it's like eavesdropping on a conversation or, you know what I mean? Like you have no basis for it.
And it's the same argument. You're sitting in the living room. I can hear you on the phone. Mm-hmm. Like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to leave and go walk upstairs? You know what I mean? You're not excusing yourself and
I think that there can be some concessions or some considerations made there, right? Like if you're on a phone and you know it's a sensitive conversation,
you kind of walk away let somebody know. Like,
yeah, I walk away because I hate hearing myself on the phone and I don't want people to hear me on the phone because I know that once I call an 800 number to talk to someone at customer support, I go from sounding like this crass homosexual to a full-fledged businesswoman in her 40s.
You do have a phone voice.
I have a phone voice.
We all do, but yeah.
I hate mine. So I think, yes, it's a little bit of an invasion of privacy. Sure, if you're doing it in the kitchen and it's just like, hey, what are you up to? Then like, that's whatever. Right? It's just inquiring minds want to know. But like if it's a constant, like if he's just sitting there watching,
right?
I suggest you do the same thing to him and see what happens. What response do you get?
It's very true.
Because you might find out that he doesn't like it either. And you might even go a step further to find out that your logic won't work on him. That same logic won't work on him.
Also,
and then my friend,
projecting.
You are working with a grade A motherfucker psycho or a motherfucker and you just get a divorce. That's right.
Well, that escalated quickly.
I ain't your mama.
Dear Invaded, overall, I think it's rude to continue to do something, almost anything, your spouse has asked you repeatedly not to do, especially if this behavior is not a two-way street. Your husband may be aggressively trying to send you a message that he doesn't want you to use screens when you are around him. If you take a close and objective look at your own screen usage and see that there is a genuine imbalance in the amount of time you and he spend on your screens, then this gives you an opportunity to perhaps change your own behavior to demonstrate that you have received his rudely delivered message. Otherwise, yes, whenever he does this, you should take your work into another room. I have seen so-called privacy filters for laptops. Although I've never tried one, no one in my household has much interest in what I'm up to. These screens allegedly completely block a screen from view unless the user is directly in front of the screen. This would also be very useful when working in a coffee shop or in public transportation or in your kitchen.
Okay.
I'm curious. Her connection to you're on your phone too much and your husband's trying to tell you that didn't resonate with me.
Yeah, I didn't. I
like
liked that perspective.
Absolutely.
I liked it, but I can't connect it.
No, I feel like there's 100 ways for him to make that the issue.
Yeah. Like what I do with Colin. Are you on the fucking phone again?
Right. Well, if you weren't on your phone every second, then I wouldn't be fucking... I'm just trying to be on your phone with you.
I told you already, but if you put your phone down.
Right.
Yeah. See? Direct. Maybe a little passive aggressive.
Passive aggressive for sure.
But it fucking got the point across.
But you know that the issue is not, I'm just being nosy. The issue is you're on your phone too much. Mm-hmm. I feel like that would have been made more obvious versus he says it's fair game because I'm sitting on the couch reading my phone.
It just screams insecurity. It screams like trust issues for the reason of just to have a trust projection. Issue.
Maybe he's doing no good on his phone, so he's assuming that you're up to no good on your phone.
Yeah.
But I did not think that this is a passive aggressive, you're on your phone too much.
No, this is just projection or someone scorned in the past or... But
or he's just a nosy motherfucker. And I was like, listen, if you're sitting right next to me on your phone, I'm looking.
And that could be the case because those people exist. I'm sure sitting with one right now.
We sure do exist.
They fucking... Yeah, I didn't love that part. I did love that perspective that, maybe
it's a great
he's telling
point.
You to get off your, but it doesn't feel like that.
I agree.
Because I feel like someone reasonable would
out.
Right.
He would have... It would have been like a backhanded compliment, not compliment, like a backhanded.
That too. Wow, that phone looks real pretty in your hand.
Like, wow, I'm starting to think that you find your phone more attractive than you find me.
Oh.
You know?
I love it.
Yeah.
No, I love that spin.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's fair game. So if she's in public, in front of everyone, not covered up, she's fair game.
Why is she not covered up out
I
in
don't
public?
know. The laptop isn't covered up. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Right.
And should I cut that out?
And next question.
Fuck off. Oh, I need to think before I talk.
Or you don't. That's why we're doing a podcast. That's why we're here today.
And I'm done. I'm canceled.
Should I intervene in my adult daughter's problem? This is June 14th, 2022, when she suspects that her adult daughter may once again be experiencing an eating disorder. This mom wonders if she should intervene in her adult daughter's problem. Dear Amy, my daughter is 33, living on her own, thriving in her career, and in most aspects doing very well. She lives in a different city, so I only see her several times a year, but we talk on the phone often. When she was a teenager, she had an eating disorder, anorexia. We intervened and took her to an expert therapist who worked with her for 2 years. She developed many tools to deal with her disordered eating. Stress is a trigger and can send her into anxiety disordered behaviors. She is currently trying to relocate to another state, and I am concerned, mostly from her social media posts, that she may be dealing with disordered eating habits again. She looks very, very thin. Her brother told me that he is very concerned, but he doesn't feel she would be open to any concerns or suggestions he may have. She is ultra sensitive when I question anything about her eating. When she was in therapy, her therapist had told the family members that we needed to let her make her own choices about food to put her in control. I fear she's dealing with her current stress in a way that is unhealthy. How do you suggest I help without alienating her? Concerned parent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't really have any preconceived notion or any idea as to what I thought where this question was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like that. Is this mom asking or dad asking? Do we know?
I believe mom.
Parent. I do like the parent asking about how to proceed with something so sensitive, because when it comes to eating disorders or anything that has a trauma attachment or there's that physiological association. For example, addiction. This is the kind of mindset that I feel like we need to move in, where it's like, we're not going to be able to control the outcomes. We're not going to be able to control what this person's going to do at the end. We can explain our concerns, but we have to be okay with just being heard as the outside party, right? Because that's the best that you can do. Ultimately, it's on that person to decide what they're going to do. So let's say that the daughter is or has reverted to her eating disorder when she's under the stress and anxiety and doesn't know how to cope with it. As a parent, it's really, really hard, first of all, in all facets,
not to control or fix.
To shut the fuck up, right, and let your child live. It's really, really hard.
Yeah.
Never mind when you're just a family member who's concerned or a best friend who's concerned.
Right.
As a mom or a dad, you're just like, how do I not try to control this?
How do I just sit and watch this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're not prepared to just be okay voicing your thoughts to your daughter, being very forthright in what you feel and believe is going on, without casting any like aspersions on her character, without putting, any judgment on her, keep your mouth shut. Take the mentality that an intervention might do something, but be okay when it doesn't. Be okay that if she's upset about you bringing it up, for you to be able to be like, I just wanted to share with you that I am concerned. I don't think there's anything wrong with sharing a concern. I might be in the minority here. But I don't think it's an issue for you to say, honey, you look like you're losing weight. And I know that this is a very touchy subject for you, but I just want to make sure that you're eating and that you're taking care of yourself. Or even just that. I just want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, period. There's absolutely no way that she couldn't get what you mean from that without, you know what I mean, by those words.
So that seems like that might be part of the problem.
What do you mean?
There's always that line where it's like, just because I've struggled with something in the past, now people are always going to think that this is the issue.
Yep.
Drugs,
Okay.
alcohol, eating disorders, anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, great. I've been clean or sober or whatever for 4 years, and I go on a diet, and now everybody thinks I'm anorexic again. Mm-hmm. So there is that fine line.
Yep.
Where especially if it is something like I haven't relapsed, and yes, maybe I did lose some weight, but it was natural. Like
it happened.
It happened. I started working out, or I started doing yoga,
or I started eating
cut out
shit.
right. I
and I'm
cut
eating
out
way
soda.
More. Yeah,
that type of thing. So it's like,
I'm with you, and that's why I said, like, rather than say like you're looking thin, say like, I want to make sure you're taking care of yourself. Let's not go based off of her history. Let's go and make sure that you know that you care for her well-being.
Well, I think her history is why mom's concerned.
Yeah.
And so it is kind of unfair, but it's also not unfair.
Right.
It's such a blurry line.
I think it's more blurry when it's not a relative. But as a relative who is supposed to, and I use that very loosely, but very forcefully at the same time, so a relative is supposed to care about your well-being. For them to ask those kinds of questions, you know what I mean, is not unusual. But I can see how that would be more of like a sore or a touchy subject for someone who has a history of, like this person with like an eating disorder or some sort of, psychological, emotional tie to.
Yeah.
So I don't think I can give a straight answer on it so much. Well, how about we go back to the question?
How do you suggest I best help without alienating her?
Oh, right.
She's ultra sensitive when I question anything about her eating.
Don't question her eating. It's not about her eating. Maybe you're right. She's losing weight. She tried this exercise program. She's losing weight. Maybe she's eating more than she's eaten before. You're literally basing it off of her history.
That's why I said it's such a fine line. It's super normal and natural for us to fear, okay, great. They have struggled with something like this in the past. And, because of that, now it's like when your boyfriend cheats on you. Now you're constantly going to be wondering, is he cheating again?
Yeah.
He's being sketchy or putting his phone down now. And, that takes a long time to go away.
Yeah. But she did that when she was a teenager.
Yes. When she was a teenager, she had an eating disorder.
And now she's 33?
Yes. She's now 33.
Yeah. The time's gone. Honestly, you don't have enough information. So honestly, ask her how she's doing. She could very well be, like you said, on a different program. You can't hold her
Maybe
to
she
that for
started
half of her
yoga.
life.
Well, we also don't know if this has been an ongoing struggle since her teenage years.
All we know is that after 2 years of therapy, it seemed to have...
It didn't even say, it just said she was given tools.
Okay.
So we don't even know that she went to therapy and was great for
So we don't know what
years.
happened.
We don't know if she's been on-off struggling with this, or if it was like this kind of moment in her life that was her, what's the word I'm looking for? Her
Coping
mechanism. So we don't really know. It's just such a, I guess that goes to, as a mother or a father, do we have that right in our adult children's lives to, just because I'm your mom, do I get to say like, hey, you look like you're thin. Are you being anorexic again? Hey, you look tired today. Are you using drugs again? Hey, you sounded slurry on the phone. Are you drinking again? Do we get to do that? Or is it not our place?
I don't know the answer to that.
I don't either.
I'm trying to think about what I
think
would
as
do.
an adult, it's not our place no more. And all we get to do is love them anyway and let them know that.
Is there like a handbook or guidance or research about how many people you need for an intervention?
I'm against interventions.
Well, I'm not saying pro or anti. I think I'm just using it as something, as a measure, because of the mom and the brother feeling that she may have, resorted to or reverted to.
But the daughter's an adult now.
Yeah. I mean,
you don't get to force me into rehab, or you don't get to force me to quit drinking, or you don't get to force me to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Are interventions a force though?
No, but they're like, hey, unless you stop doing this, then you're not allowed to come to Christmas anymore.
I am 100% on your page. If they're doing it because you said so, they're not doing it for them, and therefore it's not going to work. It's destined for failure.
Not to mention it's going to push them further away.
Yeah.
It's like when you tell your 16-year-old, oh, I don't like Tommy, plus he's 2 years older than you. I want you to stop dating him.
Right.
All she's going to do is hide it from you now.
Yep. And now she's going to find somebody 15 years older. And now she's going to stop
coming to Christmas. And now,
Yeah, I'm with you with that. Interventions in the sense where you're like explaining how you feel as a collective because you're worried about someone. I don't know if I feel left or right about it, but sometimes I feel like, what's the harm in communicating your concern if you can do it constructively? It doesn't sound like mom can.
Most of the time, especially for the person struggling with whatever they're struggling with, they know. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I know that you're worried about me.
Right.
Sometimes I'm worried about myself. Mm-hmm. This is where I'm at. And if it gets out of hand for me, there will be a point that I go get help. Mm-hmm. But right now, I don't feel that. And nothing you say to me is going to make me want to go do that.
I know. Now put yourself on the other side of that when you hear that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's just so hard to be like, does that become more about you or them though at that point where you're just like, I'm helpless then? Like I can't do anything.
Well, that's why I said I don't agree with intervention.
Yeah.
I agree with like, hey, I'm not going to give you money no more because you're going to go buy drugs with it, or that type of thing. Like, I love you so much, and you just, unfortunately, right now, you don't get to come around my kids. Whatever you have to do, yes, that.
For you.
For my children, or, you don't get to come over when you're using or when you're doing this or whatever it is because of my own boundaries. Because I don't want my kids to see this, or because I don't, whatever it is, sure. But like full on intervention, sit down. If you don't go get help, I'm never talking to you again. Like, no, they know what they're doing. We know where we're at. And we know when people, our parents especially, we know when they're worried about us, and we know when it's an issue, when it's not an issue. And I think
I've never known an intervention to be a forcing of hand so much as a circle of people you love telling you that they're concerned for you. What you do from there.
Well, I think that the point of intervention is like, hey, if you don't go get help, then this is the consequence.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I never thought of there being a consequence to an intervention. To me, it's always been like, we're the people who love and support you, and we want to communicate our concerns, hoping that collective influences your decision to go into rehab. And I know that it can go absolutely totally wrong at the same time. You know what I mean? Where that person's not receptive to your feelings.
Which 99% of the time they're not.
99% of the time that they're not. And, that says more about how they feel about themselves too. But I never thought of it as something that could backfire in the sense that like you feel like you're given or you are given an ultimatum.
Right.
So, yeah, I never thought of it that way. I don't know why. It feels like I should know that, but...
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the point of an intervention. Otherwise, I'm just telling you how I feel. And we don't need an intervention because I'm just telling you how I feel.
Yeah,
intervention is like, we all think you need help, so we're going to try to force you to get help. And if you don't go get help, then you're not allowed to come over anymore. You're not allowed to come to Christmas. You're not allowed to do these things until you get help.
I suppose that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because the word is intervention.
You're intervening, right?
Oh, fuck yourself. Just tell me more.
Well, I think my advice is we always just have to love people where they're at. And I think it's super important, especially if people are struggling with any type of, not even just addiction, just struggling in general. I think it's super important to be reminded that I have people that are rooting for me, that I can call on, that I can lean on. Even if they're choosing to like, I can't be active in your life right now because of this or this, but I'm here and I love you. And anytime you call me, I'm answering, especially if you need help. And I feel like as parents, that's all we get to do.
But as parents, what will we do?
Give them interventions.
You hear this all the time. Like, my mom is so judgmental, blah, blah, blah. And she's saying this and she's saying that. And mom's like, I literally am just trying to look out for you. And it's like, Mom, when I want your opinion, I'll ask for it, or all this other shit. And you think about this stuff, like they make movies about it, and they, and you hear stories about families and that type of situation, and that old adage, mother knows best. It's never true, because times always change.
Mother knows best when you're sick, like flu sick.
And even that's questionable. Let me just put that out there.
My mom always knew best.
But like, what I mean is like, it begs the question, like, as a parent, when do you stop communicating to your child that you're worried about them? Or do you do so in so many words? Because I know me, and I'm trying to let my kid live his life in the way that suits him and is good for him. But I know that there are some areas where I'm like, I need to jump in and be like, it's not that he doesn't know better, it's just that he just doesn't know. Period. And that's just my assumption, because of course my kid knows about sex despite me having the conversation years after he learned about it. Things like that. Like, we only know what people know so many times. And when do we stop? When do we stop caring and voicing that opinion, or voicing what we feel to our children? Let's forget about the friends and the family otherwise, but to our own kids. When do we get the hint that our input or our suggestions or our feelings are not welcome?
Well, mom already knows that they're not. That's why she's asking this question.
You're right.
Mom already knows.
I don't think I'll ever ask that question then. I mean, shoe on the other foot too. Like, I don't have this issue. I have other issues, but not ones where I'm worried about my kid's daily habits threatening his life.
Right.
So maybe that's
Your
where
child's also not 33.
he's worse. He's 16. But I see what you're saying.
I know.
I'm having a hard time separating the feeling from it.
Of course.
But I agree with you. If that
Of
makes
course.
sense.
Yeah.
What's Amy got to say?
Yeah. I need to know.
It's got to be better than what we're thinking, right?
Dear Concerned, as with some other diseases, eating disorders can flare even many years after successful treatment. Stress is definitely a risk factor and can lead to a relapse. Understand a basic truth. We all become most defensive when confronted with our deepest vulnerabilities. Your daughter is an adult. She is ultimately responsible for managing her health. Her eating disorder can be considered a chronic disease. If she had an autoimmune disease, also triggered by stress, you would want to prompt her to take care of her health. Expressing your concern in a loving way might trigger a defensive reaction. And yet you are her mother, and if you are brave enough to talk to her, you will be demonstrating that you care, that you're on her side, that you see her eating disorder as an illness and not a character flaw, and that you are available for help if she needs it. Talk to her. This is such a stressful time for you. I'm worried that your eating disorder could flare. How are you managing your health right now? Can I help you in any way? She may respond, Mom, stop. And that's okay. You can respond, honey, I do worry, but I can handle my own anxieties. I just want you to know that I've got your back always. National Eating Disorders Association offers helpful advice for families.
I like it. It goes with that. And maybe I'm just being self-serving here because I am, but it goes with that, like, honey, or that conversation where it's like, I'm worried about your health, blah, 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 rather than coming out and just being like, you're fucking not eating again. You're not, you know what I mean? Like more general and just
I know, but it lands the same. If you think about it, it lands the exact same.
No, you're so right. You're so right. But again, being self-serving, it'll make me feel better. When you have a conversation with someone and you think about something to say and you don't say it, and then you go home and you're like, fucking wish I opened my mouth and said this, or I wish I didn't forget to say this. Like there's that one thing that's left unsaid. That's what being a parent means. You're always going to have that one thing unsaid, the one thing that you wish you had said for whatever reason, whether you don't want to feel regret, whether you feel it's going to save your child's life, whether or not you're worried that they might go down a path that's less than desirable for either party, like whatever it is, like that's being a parent, that one thing that you didn't say. And if something happens, it was that one thing you didn't say that led to whatever happened.
See, I feel opposite. Like if I point out, are you eating? I'm worried about your health. Are you doing okay? Now my kid's going to stop talking to me and I'm going to push them more into whatever it is. But if you hit them with I love you forever, nothing's going to stop that. Now my kid's going to feel guilty. Now my kid's going to be like,
I see that part.
Fuck.
The other one, I'm like, well, how many times did you badger your kid for them to feel like they don't want to talk to you after you just express concern?
Yeah, but even one time.
Yeah.
Especially if it's something that I know, I'm not eating right now, or I'm making myself throw up, or I'm drinking too much, or I'm dabbling in pills again, or I know.
Right.
So the second you mention anything like, hey, how's things going lately? I'm immediately, nope.
Yeah.
Don't want to confront that or you.
It's all so sensitive.
But
is there an approach?
Yeah. It's the kill them with kindness.
But do you acknowledge?
Babe, I love you so much and I'm here always. And that's it. That's like, fuck, she knows. But she didn't say anything about it.
But not everyone has that intellect.
I think children parent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's an assumption. I don't think that everyone has that. Yes, I love that.
But I'm saying if you're saying it in a way like, oh, how's things been going? I love you so much and I'm always here. You know that. Or even like, that, right? Like I'm always here for you. You know what I mean? That's not coming out of.
Yeah. I just think, and this might just be me, to me, unless I come out and say it, it'll always feel like I don't know if you know what I'm putting down. So I'm just going to open my fucking mouth.
So I'm going to say it
and
anyway.
risk it all. And you're going to see my true colors, which is I fucking love you. I'm concerned for you. Just know that you have me.
Yeah.
You know, exactly what you're saying, only with the caveat that like, I'm telling you what I'm feeling.
Right.
And that's the only way I see it, just from my perspective and things that I've dealt with as an adolescent. Like, these are the only things that I feel like.
Right.
I'm not saying that the only things that work, period. But for me.
For you, yeah.
I see exactly what you're saying. What you're saying makes total sense.
Yeah, I got both ways.
Makes total sense. And at the same time, I'm like, I feel like something's
You just
missing.
have to say it. You have to point it out. You have to point out the obvious.
I don't even have to. I don't even have to be so blunt so much as to be like, I know you're going through something,
but you don't know.
You know what I mean?
You
don't. But rather than be like, I know you're not eating again.
I'm assuming that you're going through things again. That's sucky.
Or just saying like, I think you're going through this, but like, you have me no matter what. Like, saying something that alludes to you knowing, rather than making something come off as saying as an assumption that you know.
You don't know.
You know, you don't know.
And that's what sucks about it. That's why it's like, cool, Mom. Cool. Yeah. Instead of being worried about if I'm fucking stressed or if I'm, you know, now you're just worried about if I'm eating or not.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You don't know. No, matter of fact, I started yoga to help manage my stress. And that's why I've lost weight.
That's why I'm saying, like, I know you're going through something, rather than like saying you're not eating when you're going stressed, like you're being stressed, rather than be like, I know you're not eating because you're stressed. Just be like, I know you're going through something. And if you need me, I'm here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that so much to be like, hey, I know you're not eating. Or I see you're stressed, and if you need me, I'm here.
Feels the same.
Yeah. I don't think.
Like, Mom, I know what you're talking about.
I don't think there's winning here.
No, I agree.
I agree. Either for mom or for the daughter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So just fucking prepare.
Prepare to lose. That's what
way.
Parenting is.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Parenting is being ready to lose when you haven't said what you've had to say, because you said what you had to say.
Because you know you're going to lose.
Because you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Parenting is for the birds.
Yeah. They just shove them out of the nest. Good luck.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
It really is for the birds. We're doing it wrong. The birds are doing it right.
No, they're literally kicking them out the second they open their fucking arms.
Here's some regurgitated food. Bye.
Yeah. See you later.
Now go figure it out.
Yeah. And if you can't,
don't come back, because the nest is going to be gone.
It's going to be empty. Wind took it.
We're down south. Good luck finding us again ever in your life.
Fucking parents. They suck.
We suck.
We suck. I think we have time for uno más.
Well, let's do a fun one then.
Okay, good. Because I'm not trying to fucking fight with you about what we should and shouldn't assume.
We weren't fighting.
Should assume. No, but we could.
We could. We could fight about anything.
No. I'm just giving you obvious responses here.
This is from 2021. Plucking hairs off someone's shirt.
Pet peeve.
Advice columnist Amy Dickinson weighs in on people plucking hairs off someone's shirt. Dear Amy, this is an insignificant problem, but I'd appreciate your opinion. I have white hair, and I think I look good wearing black. When I am out in public with an acquaintance or coworker, I can be in mid-sentence when some people will suddenly pick at my black shirt and then say, there was a hair on your shirt. It seems like they feel compelled to do this. I feel like an orangutan. I have sometimes said, partly joking, I feel like I'm being groomed. Are they doing me a favor, plucking one of my white hairs off my shirt? Is it the same as if I had food on my face or if my pants were unzipped? Should I be embarrassed but grateful to have this pointed out? I am about to give away all my black tops. Signed, white on black.
Oh my God.
Bev?
If I see a fucking stray hair on someone's shirt, granted I know them,
you're plucking it.
I'm fucking taking it off.
Okay, how about the food on the face?
Your scalp. I'm not taking it off your scalp. The food on the face?
Yeah,
I'd be like, you have some schmutz here. You can take it off yourself.
Is it the same as if I had food on my face or if my pants were unzipped? Do you think pulling a hair?
And no, and yes. Yes and no. No one likes their face reached at unless we're in some very serious sexual activity. But no one really likes their face reached for because they're going to be like, they're going to lurch back, right?
Right.
A shirt, just be like, oh, you have something on your shirt, take it off. Of course, I understand that being a violation of personal space. Let's forget about the white hair on black shirt. What was the second? It's like
is it
taking
the same as if I had food on my face or if my pants were unzipped?
If your pants are unzipped, see, that doesn't work for me.
I'm not going to reach down
your crotch, and I'm not reaching at your face. Right. I'm going to tell you have your zipper undone, or that or
you have food in your beard,
right? Because I'm not going to reach for it unless you go like this, like you try to grab it a million times and you can't. You go like, right. Can you get it for me? Yes. But a hair on the shirt to me is just be like, oh, you got a loose hair.
I'm not even going to point it out. I'm just going to grab it as you're talking.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take it and put it down, and we're going to continue the conversation.
Right. And I'd be like, sorry, you had a hair talking. Didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm not even going to acknowledge.
That's the difference between us.
We're just going to be talking. I'm going to take that off as you're talking, and we're going to continue the conversation. I'm not going to point out or mention what I just did. Like, you're going to finish telling me what you're telling me. I'm going to respond, and that never happened. But food or unzipped, that is not the same.
I
might do this, wipe at my face if you're talking to me, because I don't want to interrupt you.
Yeah.
But I can't stop staring at that pea in your beard. Pick the wrong, at that corn kernel.
Ew.
In your beard. So I might wipe my face or like point to you to wipe your face, but I'm not going to interrupt you.
You've got last night's escapades on your face.
Same with your zipper.
Yeah.
That's going to be a whole separate conversation.
You've got last night's escapades on your pants.
Yes. So I don't think that's the same. But I feel like I'm not bothered if you pulled a hair off of my shirt. I'm not bothered or offended. Like, I'm curious why this person is so bothered by it. Especially, like, yes, if you have bright white hair and you're wearing a black shirt, it's very noticeable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if we're talking and you just reach over my shoulder and pull a hair off my shirt, I'm not going to be like, excuse me, personal space.
Yeah. And that's assuming everyone is like us.
Well, that's why I said I'm curious why he's bothered. He did say he feels like he's being groomed, but like, why? Why do you feel that way? If somebody reached down and zipped your pants, yes. Like, yes, hello. We're like, and even touching my face. Just tell me if I have barbecue on my lip. Don't come wipe it off.
Right.
Unless you're my husband and you're using your mouth. Don't, you know what I mean? Like,
I like your husband.
But if you're just reaching to grab a hair off my shirt, which probably happens to me 7,000 times a day because I shed like a Doberman Pinscher.
Sure.
Long-haired one.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you do shed ridiculously.
I do.
I still get your hairs out of my underwear.
My blonde. You still got my blonde hair.
No shit. And you never even had them with this car.
I know.
I think this speaks more to an insecurity. However,
should I be embarrassed but grateful to have this pointed out? Are they doing me a favor plucking one of my white hairs off my shirt?
Ask yourself this. Is the problem that someone is plucking my hair? Or is that the problem that someone is plucking my white hair?
The difference being?
Whether or not you're self-conscious about your white hair. Because they made a very specific, they made a point to state that they have white hair.
I have white hair and I think I look good wearing black.
Yep. They made it a point to state that.
I think the point was that it's super obvious when I have a hair on my shirt.
Sure. And
so like it happens more often when I'm wearing black.
It still begs the same question. Although, let me say, there's a third question where it's like, why are you invading my personal space? And if it's a matter of personal space, just be like, can you please not do that? And then eventually people will catch on and they'll never do it again. the right people. If it's a matter of your white hair and you don't like people reaching for you, do the same thing. Can you please not do that? I don't really like that. Be vocal about it. If it's a matter of people reaching for it and you don't understand why, ask them, why are you doing that? And that's all I can really offer. I don't know. Are you reading the answer?
No.
I'm going to kick your ass.
I'm not reading the answer. I'm reading their questions. They're like unsure. They're so unsure about this act.
You think it's very genuine?
Yeah.
Because to me, it feels like they're really insecure about their white hair. Not to diminish the personal bubble popping, but to me, it felt like the white hair was, let's make it a point. Because I pick hair off of, I'm not saying it's right, but if I find a hair on you, here it goes. I'm reaching out.
Right.
It's always index finger and thumb. I know for you it's claw and talon, but for me it's index finger and thumb.
Claw and thumb.
Same.
I can't.
You
can't do this.
Okay, so thumb.
You can't do this.
Claw and thumb. But for me, it's index finger and thumb. I pick it off and I do this like it's been all over my hand. And I'm not doing anything. I'm just picking a stray particle off of you. But if you do not like it and you told me, I would not do it again, or I would and be like, I'm so sorry, I forgot.
And now it's going to be awkward because now I'm going to be pointing to the hair on your shirt that I want to get, but I'm not getting.
Or please just leave it there. I will get it with a lint roller later.
Right? Like, can you just get that hair,
you can hear
please?
that on the microphone.
I can't see how you wouldn't. It seems like they feel compelled to do this. Are they doing me a favor? Is it the same as if I had food on my face or my pants were unzipped? Should I feel embarrassed or grateful to have this pointed out? They really don't know how to handle this. And it's super interesting to me. Are you foreign?
Oh.
Is this not a thing for somebody to just pull a hair off your shirt while you guys are talking? Need to know.
Yeah, me too. Because if I asked those questions, if I was the writer and I had asked those questions, I can hear me saying that. And all of my casual glory coming out. Am I entertainment? You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
Are they rude or am I?
Are they
Am I offended or are
did they take
out
something
of line?
before they picked something? Is this shirt or is this hair picking shirt?
Is it me or them?
Are they on drugs?
So when I started reading this, my first thought was going to be that their chest hairs, that they had white chest hairs poking through the shirt, and people were repeatedly thinking that it was just a loose hair, but were pulling chest hairs. That's really what I thought this was going to be
because
about.
That's happened to me.
A hair, chest hair poking through the shirt.
Because I don't like to go in my full glory. I trim it. And I don't trim it short, but I trim it so that it doesn't look like I have cotton balls under my shirt. And so they
poke through the shirt.
Through a lot of them, not just one or two.
Has anybody went to pull one off?
I think you have.
With the on the thumb.
I think it was.
And
I'm
pulled
actually 100% sure.
That does sound
we were
right.
At the manor, and you pulled it, and it was attached to my nipples. Still, I'm 100% certain.
I feel like I can recall that.
99.9. I want to say 100 because my memory. But
I'm with you. That's really what I thought this was going to be about. How do I get people to stop trying to pull my chest hairs out of my chest?
That's fucking brilliant. A man wrote this?
I don't know.
I mean, women can have chest hair too if they want to, but I'm just going off the general consensus here.
But it's not about chest hair at all.
It's not. I told you I sound just like you.
Yeah, because I didn't know if that was you or me. That's really what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, please.
Dear White on Black, when people do this, they are not doing you a favor. They're treating their own discomfort by removing something that distracts them and pulls their focus away from you.
Fucking brilliant.
You might never feel this impulse to smooth, straighten, or pluck, nor do I. But I agree with your instinct that doing so is something of a compulsion for people who cannot seem to resist. That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
That's fucking brilliant.
annoyingly brilliant.
That's
because I'm
annoying.
still gonna pull hairs
Because
off
we're
your
coming from the
shirt.
people who
And I'm
fucking
still-
pull the hairs off. So we didn't think it was something that makes us uncomfortable. We just notice it and boom, you know?
Yeah, because I don't come from like a this is distracting me. I come from like a you're walking around with a hair on your shirt.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get that off for you.
But it's not. It's us noticing a hair on your shirt.
Yeah, but I'm
and it's
not gonna
there.
let you walk around with your fly unzipped. And that's
Do you
yes,
like
that's
me?
distracting for me. But I'm also
That's 'cause
like,
you want
hey,
it to what?
yeah. Like, Biff, just can't stop staring at your.
Can you just let it fall out, please?
Can you just either take your pants off or zip it? Like, let's figure this out here. But do you know what I mean? Like, this isn't like, yes, I'm keep looking at your peen because your pants unzipped. But also, I'm just as my friend, I don't think you should be walking around. Not even as my friend, any stranger.
Yeah.
You just don't want to be out here running around like, no. Why didn't nobody tell me my fly was down? Granted, I don't think a hair on my shirt is
Yeah, I wouldn't.
the same degree, but I don't see it as like, sorry, I can't have this conversation with you because this hair on your shirt. It's more just like a polite. I'm being polite. I'm here.
Yeah.
I have a shirt. I'm getting it off of you.
Yeah, I see it as politeness too.
It's like,
But I
you're
do
just-
see that personal bubble being popped, in which case, be vocal to the people who do it to you all the time. Just be like, I don't really like that. Or, hey, can you not do that anymore? Or whatever.
Yeah, but you're going to be saying that for the rest of your life, especially with bright white hair. On
I don't
black
know.
shirts.
Apparently, we're used to people who do that.
Yeah, that's not a thing for me. If you pull a hair off me, I'm going to be like, yeah, I know. Or don't bother because there's 700 more where that came from.
You should see my tub.
Like, don't walk barefoot in my kitchen.
Oh my God.
Actually, in my kitchen, my hair's up. Don't wear socks in my living room is what I should say.
Yes. I have so much of your hair still. So
Everywhere.
going back from 20 years ago. I guess it's really just a matter of who you are.
My response would be, why does it bother you? Let's figure out why it bothers you.
I'd like to figure out why it
Do you
bothers other people
feel
too,
like
though.
it's rude? Do you feel like it's disrespectful? Do you feel uncomfortable? Do you feel like they're crossing boundaries?
Well, that's why I was thinking like the white hair too, because they made it a very specific. You don't have white hair. The hairs that fall off of you are not white.
You can finish.
I pick off your hair because I notice it, not because it's white. And you wear a lot of fucking black.
My hair's also 3 feet long. It's hard to miss.
Sure.
Just like white hair in a black shirt would be hard to miss.
But still, like color on color, like, you know, unless you're like up close and whatever, like I'm not going to reach for, you know what I mean? I just feel like the white is, sure, it helps it stand out, fine. But like no one walks around and plucks my dog hairs off of me.
Oh, that's because there's too many. I'm not sitting here all day.
Okay.
I'm not sitting here all day.
All right, whatever. But that response from Amy was brilliant. That was fun.
Yeah,
I feel like an orangutan was great.
that was.
That was great. I don't think I have anything else to add to anything.
I don't think I do either.
We're done.
And that's all she wrote.
You guys can hang up now.
Bye.
Bye. But before you do that, send us your questions, your comments, and all your concerns to illadvisedthepodcast@gmail.com, or check out the sources for this episode, all of our episodes, and catch up on all those episodes at illadvisedthepodcast.com.
Also, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at illadvisedthepodcast.
You're beautiful. You're wonderful. Everything about you is absolutely gorgeous.
We really want to know what you think about hair plucking.
And get yourself a lint roller. And thank you for listening.
You've been ill-advised.